So I'm a little bit late to this one. Pierre Poilievre the other day released an ad just going off on Mark Carney, basically saying, hey, no one knows what this guy's talking about. So he put out this little ad here. It's awesome. I'm going to show it to you guys in just a second. Now, before we do get into it, please don't forget to like and subscribe, because it really does help grow the channel. I appreciate you guys so much for doing that. So it starts off with a quote from George Orwell. A mass of Latin words falls upon the fact like soft snow, blurring the outline and covering up all the details. The great enemy of clear language is insincerity. All right, let's have a look and we'll talk about it.
Multipolarity without multilateralism can lead to chaos. It certainly cannot achieve the Sustainable Development Goals, and that is catalyzing financial instruments using risk mitigation tools to better allocate risk between the public and private sector. There's a lot of words there. What it basically means is recycling the balance sheets of our international financial institutions. So all of those activities that catalyze in flows towards the SDGs. I will reference the work that has been done and needs to be completed on a cross-border carbon market, which could close 1/3 of the climate finance gap between now and 2035.
Didn't understand a word he just said? That's okay. I don't think he did either. You see, people who call themselves,
People will charge me as being elitist or a globalist, to use that term, which is, well, that's exactly, it happens to be exactly what we need.
And that's the part that drives me crazy. Like, how could you vote for a guy who literally admits we need globalism? Oh, I didn't know he said it. Listen, if you're like a single issue voter, or if you're not going to just listen to these basic interviews where they just publicly admit these terrible things, then just stay home. Don't vote. If it's not important enough for you to learn a little bit, then just get out of the way. I mean, it's just a bunch of word salad and then admitting he's a globalist.
often use words that nobody understands so that you can't hold them accountable for the decisions that they're making. You see, there's only three explanations for speaking in gibberish that no one can understand. Either one, you don't know what you're talking about, two, you don't want others to know, or three, some combination of both. And I suspect that in Mr. Carney's case, it's the third option. Mr. Carney is sitting there with a group of global elites talking about things that they don't understand to obscure the fact that at the end of the day, what the real agenda is to rip off the working class people through excess complexity. That's right. By overly complicating simple things, they are able to rip off the very people who are paying the bills. Take housing, for example. We all agree that there are complex bureaucracies that add expense and block home building. And so what is Mr. Carney's solution to that? Add more complex bureaucracies, a new $13 billion home building agency, or natural resources. The complex bureaucracies block us from exploiting the extraordinary resources we have right beneath our feet. And what is Mr. Carney's solution to that? Add yet another office that is supposed to develop our resources. They cripple our businesses with high taxes and red tape, and then they say, well, because our businesses are so unproductive and starved for investment, we need, yes, you guessed it, another complex bureaucracy to invest in Canadian businesses. What does this mean? It means that you want to build homes, develop resources, or start a business. You can't do it without going through the government. And what does that do? It makes the politicians and bureaucrats more powerful. The more complicated they can make this all be, the more they can escape any accountability for the damage they are doing, the more they can enrich themselves by making everyone else poor. That's why we have to get back to simple, clear language that allows us to hold government to account. Let's speak in words that people get. Einstein said, if you can't explain it simply, then it means you don't understand it. We need to get back to simple language to hold politicians accountable for the things they say and do, and to get them working for the common people. You see, it's not the common people aren't smart enough to understand the gibberish. It's that they're too smart for the gibberish. Common people speak real language. The people who know how to take apart and put back together an engine block are mechanics. The people who know how to build homes with their hands, the electricians, they're the smartest people around. They speak clear, precise English rather than convoluted bureaucraties. Imagine how much better our government would be if it did the same thing. We would get common sense decisions that delivered real results and accountability for failure. That's the kind of government that I want to lead. It's that simple.
When there's a gap between one's real and one's declared aims, one turns, as it were, instinctively to long words and exhausted idioms like a cuttlefish spurting out ink. And that's the thing, like you have this guy who speaks in all these weird, oh, we need mitigation or risk mitigation tools. Like what? Like, well, what does that even mean? You go back to what he said, it's like you don't understand a word he's saying. Well, that way it's like, hey, he used all this gibberish. He can say, well, I never said that. Well, here's what you meant. Yeah, but I never said it. That's another reason he's speaking like that, because he doesn't want to be held accountable, like Pierre said. He is here to destroy things, and when he's done looting us, he's going to leave, probably go back to Europe somewhere, live in a nice, beautiful mansion in Ireland, never have to worry about anyone, coming after him legally. Just like Trudeau. That's right, you heard it. Just like Justin. This is why people need to wake up. And, going back to the globalism thing, I mean, they're not even trying to hide it anymore. Carney is literally on camera just admitting these things. He look at his book Values. I've never read it, and I probably should, but I've heard all about it. People who have read it say, I mean, he's not even hiding the fact that this whole carbon tax thing, it's going to come back in other forms. Well, it already is. And those interest rates will continue to rise, therefore things will continue to get more expensive. And if they make it more expensive for people to make things or drive things or ship things, then it's going to get passed on to us. The prices of groceries will rise. It's going to be insanely expensive to build a home, which means you can't have cheap homes. It's absolutely crazy what we're allowing these politicians to do. And I understand, people say, well, the conservatives are corrupt. Compared to the liberals, they're saints compared to the liberals. I mean, and that's the thing, you got a choice. You're going to let the country continue to be destroyed, or vote in a leader who actually wants to do something. Hold him accountable as well. I'm not saying just let him get away. If Pierre gets in there and makes mistakes, we got to hold him accountable as well. But we got to give him a chance, because Mark Carney and his Justin Trudeau-like cabinet, they keep failing. They keep getting rewarded. They keep getting these cushiony cabinet positions that they don't deserve, that come with great benefits, a great salary. And they're thinking, hey, as long as we keep lying to people, why change? We can just keep promising, and hey, we're going to do this, we're going to do this. Sunny days, sunny ways. Remember that? 10 years ago? Yeah. Sunny ways, huh? For who? The elites and the rich, like always, and the middle class gets screwed. But we used to have a thriving middle class decades ago. And that's why we need a guy like Pierre, who's a little bit more traditional and actually more conservative. Conservatives like to conserve things. Apparently what modern liberalism means is we like to destroy things. So let's not allow these politicians to destroy our country, and let's bring it back to a point where people can actually live a happy, healthy, safe life instead of a life of misery because, it's all, we got to be worried about Trump or the weather or all this. Like, no, we got to worry about crime, housing, immigration, getting rid of the safe supply, etc., etc., etc. There's lots of things that we need to fix now, and Pierre is the man to do it, not Mark Carney.